How long will you live like a stranger in your own life? How long will you chase approval from people who don't even know the weight you carry, the fire you hold, the battles you've already won? You are not your past, you are not what they called you. You are who you decide to be. It's time to stop just surviving and finally start winning. Let me ask you something. There comes a moment in everyone's life when you have to look around and ask yourself a simple, terrifying question. Am I winning, or am I just surviving? Let me tell you something. Life isn't about just making it to the end. It's about owning your path, living your truth, and becoming the best version of the person you were always meant to be. And to truly win, to really win in life, you don't need shortcuts, you need rules. Here are 5 rules that winners live by. And now, they're yours. Rule hash 1. Know who you are before you can even think about conquering the world. You must first conquer yourself. This is the first and most powerful rule. Know who you are. And I'm not talking about the version of you that other people want you to be. I'm not talking about the mask you wear to please others. I'm talking about the real you, the raw, honest, sometimes messy, but always worthy you. Because when you know who you are, everything changes. You stop seeking validation from the outside world. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's. You stop apologizing for being too much or for not being enough. You learn to stand tall in your truth, and that truth becomes your power. Winners don't fit in, they stand out. In a world that is constantly trying to define you by your background, your mistakes, your appearance, or your status, the most revolutionary act you can commit is to stand in front of the mirror. Look yourself directly in the eyes and say, "This is me, and I am enough." We are born into a society that teaches us how to please before it teaches us how to love ourselves. From the earliest age, we're told how to speak, how to behave, what's acceptable, and what's desirable. Somewhere along the way, we start to believe that we have to shrink ourselves to be loved, to be chosen, to be safe. We learn to wear masks, we learn to silence our own truth. But let me ask you again, how long will you live like a stranger in your own life? How long will you keep chasing approval from people who don't even know the weight you carry, the fire you hold, or the battles you've already won? When you don't know who you are, you start living by default instead of by design. You let your worth be determined by likes, followers, titles, money, or relationships. But all of those things can change, they can fade, they can leave, and when they do, you're left feeling lost not because you failed, but because you never truly knew yourself in the first place. Knowing who you are isn't about having all the answers. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about looking at your story, the light and the shadow, and saying, "Yes, I've been through pain, I've made mistakes, but I am still here and I matter." You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are not what they called you. You are who you decide to be. When you finally step into your identity, the noise around you gets quieter. The opinions, the judgments, the comparisons, they all start to lose their power over you. You don't need to argue anymore. You don't need to prove anything, because the strongest people are not the loudest. They are the most aligned. And alignment happens when your thoughts, your words, and your actions all reflect your truth. Not a borrowed truth, not a filtered version of you that makes others comfortable, but your raw, real, beautiful, imperfect truth. To find out who you are, you must first get quiet. Sit with yourself. Listen to the parts of you that you've been ignoring, the voice you drowned out just to survive, the dreams you buried under fear, the emotions you silenced because they felt too heavy. Healing begins when you stop running from yourself. Because here's the secret. You don't find your identity in other people. You don't find it in a job title or a relationship status. You discover it within. In the quiet, in the struggle, in the rebirth that happens when you let go of everything you were told to be, and finally allow yourself to become everything you were born to be. It takes courage, it takes unlearning, it takes choosing yourself every single day, especially when the world wants you to choose something else. But once you do, something shifts. You stop chasing love and start attracting it. You stop following the crowd and start walking in your purpose. You stop second guessing your worth and start owning your space. Knowing who you are doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're rooted. It means you don't break every time someone misunderstands you. It means you're not desperate for people who don't see your value. It means you walk away from places that demand your silence because you refuse to shrink anymore. This world will try to shake you. Life will test you. But when you are grounded in your identity, nothing and no one can take your power away. You'll be tested, yes, but you will never be broken. Because your strength won't come from pretending. It will come from your authenticity. You don't owe the world a performance. You owe it your presence. You don't need permission to be you. You just need boldness. And the moment you stop looking outside and start going within, everything changes. Your clarity returns, your peace deepens, your relationships become more honest, your path becomes more intentional, and you finally get to live, not just exist, not just perform, but live fully, loudly, and unapologetically. Because that's what winning in life truly looks like. Not fame, not followers, not perfection, but the unshakable peace that comes when you know who you are and you're not afraid to live it. Rule #2. Protect your energy like it's gold every day. You wake up with a limited amount of energy. What you choose to give that energy to will shape the quality of your entire life. That's why protecting your energy isn't just a suggestion, it's a necessity. It's not selfish, it's survival. Because if you don't protect your peace, the world will pull it from you, piece by piece. From the moment you open your eyes, the world starts knocking. Notifications, messages, demands, expectations, noise. If you don't pause to choose what deserves your focus, everything and everyone will try to claim it. That's how you begin to feel drained, not because life is too hard, but because you're giving too much of yourself to things that give you nothing in return. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. Not every conversation deserves a response. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every invitation is meant to be accepted. Sometimes, protecting your energy means walking away silently. No explanation, no defense, just choosing peace over chaos, light over noise. You have to be intentional with what you allow into your space. Because the people you surround yourself with will either water your spirit or wither it. Ask yourself, who am I constantly exhausted around? Who leaves me second, guessing myself? Who makes me feel small just so they can feel big? That's not a connection, that's a transaction, and it costs too much. You don't owe your energy to people who only show up to take. You don't owe your presence to situations that leave you feeling empty. You don't owe your light to those who bring darkness every time they enter a room. There is incredible power in protecting your boundaries, in learning to say no without guilt. Because every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that restores you. And if you are always available to everyone, you will eventually become unavailable to yourself. Rest is not laziness. Silence is not weakness. Solitude is not loneliness. They are tools of power, spaces where your soul can breathe, where your mind can reset, and where your heart can reclaim itself. Protecting your energy also means disconnecting from distraction. I'm not just talking about people, but the habits, thoughts, and patterns that keep you stuck. The endless scrolling, the constant comparing, the complaining. The overthinking, they all eat away at the energy you could be using to build, to heal, to dream, to live. You must stop watering dead plants. Let go of the version of you that tolerates what you no longer deserve. Because when you begin to honor your energy, your life will start to shift. The things that once triggered you will no longer hold power. The people who once drained you will naturally fall away, and the noise that once overwhelmed you will become just that, noise. You will find yourself drawn to quiet, to stillness, to people who speak with their actions, not just their words, to moments that don't need to be shared online to be real. That is what happens when you start protecting your energy. You start choosing peace over performance, truth over popularity, and presence over perfection. And you begin to understand that your peace is not a luxury, it's your foundation. Your energy is not unlimited, it's sacred. Your presence is not for everyone, it's a privilege. The most powerful people you will ever meet are not the loudest. They are the most grounded. They are not running on empty. They are fueled by clarity. They don't argue with everyone. They protect their frequency. Because when your energy is aligned, your mind becomes focused, your heart becomes calm, and your life becomes intentional. No more chasing validation. No more wasting time on battles that don't belong to you. No more proving your worth to people who will never see it. It is not your job to be everything to everyone. It is your job to be true to you. And you cannot be true to yourself when you are constantly surrounded by noise, negativity, and nonsense. Let this be the season where you stop pouring into cups that never pour back, where you stop overextending yourself for people who wouldn't stretch a finger for you, where you stop tolerating chaos and start choosing calm, because your energy creates your reality. And when you protect it like it's gold, when you guard it fiercely, love it deeply, and direct it purposefully, everything around you begins to align. The chaos fades, the confusion clears, the peace rises, and you finally understand that the greatest act of self, love, isn't a spa day or a vacation. It's protecting your energy like it's the most valuable thing you owe, because it is. Rule #3. Be relentlessly consistent. There's something extraordinary that happens when you choose to show up. Not just once, not only when you feel inspired, not just when it's easy, but every single day. The real transformation in life doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from the quiet, unseen discipline of being relentlessly consistent. Consistency doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for applause. It doesn't post every step online for validation. It just works, silently, steadily, and powerfully. You see, most people wait for motivation. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect idea, the perfect circumstances. But life doesn't reward the ones who wait. It rewards the ones who move. Winners don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. And that discipline is built through consistency. The truth is, consistency is often boring. It's not glamorous. It's waking up early even when you didn't sleep well. It's writing that page, making that call, or doing that workout even when nobody is watching. Even when the results seem impossibly far away, you keep going. You keep showing up. You keep building brick by brick, step by step, day by day. Because success is not a switch. It's not an explosion or some magical event that changes your life overnight. It's a process. It's a rhythm. It's a way of living. It's the result of small, correct actions repeated over and over again until they compound into greatness. Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you cast a vote for the person you are becoming. You teach your brain that your goals matter. You teach your spirit that you're worth the effort. You teach the world that you're not just talking, you're doing. And on the hard days, especially on the hard days, Your consistency becomes a declaration. It's a statement that says, I don't quit just because it's uncomfortable. I don't stop just because it's slow. I am committed and I am coming. You don't have to take giant leaps to create change. You just need to keep stepping. One page written, one healthy meal, one difficult conversation, one choice to show up for yourself. That one moment can shift the energy of your entire life. If you do that often enough, that energy builds into momentum. And momentum is where the magic lives. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect, it means not giving up. It means showing up even when you feel like a mess, even when you're doubting yourself, even when no one claps for you. It's not about always doing it right, it's about always doing. Because effort over time will always speak louder than talent without discipline. And when you see those people who look like overnight successes, don't be fooled. They weren't lucky. They were relentlessly consistent. They were up before the sun. They practiced when no one cared. They believed when no one else did. And now they stand in their moment, not because they were chosen, but because they chose themselves again and again and again. Consistency teaches you things that nothing else can. It teaches you patience. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you that your word to yourself matters and that following through is a profound form of self respect. It also exposes what you truly want. If you're only committed when it's easy, then it's not a commitment, it's a preference. But if you can stay committed when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, and unrecognized, then it's real. That's the kind of consistency that builds empires. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they lack the patience to let consistency do its work. They stop showing up too soon. They expect a harvest without planting, applause without effort. But the harvest only comes to those who are willing to work the soil long before anything has grown. So, don't worry if things aren't moving fast enough. Don't give up just because the results aren't instant. That's not how growth works. You are built to rise. You are built to push through resistance. You are built to get up again and again, with fire in your soul and commitment in your heart. Every consistent act, every journal entry, every quiet workout, every early morning, every prayer, every choice to keep going. It's all adding up. You may not see it today. You may not feel it tomorrow. But one day, you'll look around and realize you are living inside the life you once only dreamed of. All because you never stopped showing up for it. That's what relentless consistency gives you. Not just success, but pride. Not just goals achieved, but an identity transformed. It makes you strong, it makes you grounded, and it makes you unstoppable. Rule hash 4. Fail loud, learn loud, grow loud failure. Even the word itself carries so much weight. We're taught to avoid it, to run from it, to cover it up. We're told that failure means weakness, shame, the end of the road. But I'm here to tell you something that will change your life. Failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. The truth is, no one wins without first losing. No one rises without first falling. No one becomes great without first being broken. It's not the perfect who grow, it's the honest. It's the ones who fall face down in the dirt and still choose to rise with clarity in their eyes and fire in their chest. Failure is the doorway to your next level, but you'll never walk through it if you keep hiding behind silence and shame. You have to fail loud, not in a whisper, not in the shadows, but loud and real and unafraid. Because when you fail loud, you give others permission to do the same. You say to the world, I'm not perfect, but I'm powerful. You say to yourself, this fall is not final. You see, failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of it. It's built into the journey, woven into every breakthrough, and baked into every triumph. The people who are truly thriving didn't dodge failure, they danced with it. They didn't let it define them, they let it refine them. So many of us live small because we're afraid to fail big. We stay quiet because we fear judgment. We don't try because we're scared of falling short. But what if the failure you're so desperate to avoid is the very thing that will make you? What if the mistake is the message? What if the breakdown is the opening for your breakthrough? When you fail, don't retreat. Lean in, ask yourself, what is this moment here to teach me? What belief did I just outgrow? What strength is rising in me right now? What part of me needs more love, more wisdom, more honesty? Let yourself learn loud. Don't hide the lesson. Don't pretend it didn't matter. Don't act like it didn't shake you. It did, and that's the point. Let it teach you who is really for you. Let it teach you what no longer fits in your life. Let it teach you how to stand taller, speak clearer, and fight smarter. Because every failure brings with it a mirror, a moment to reflect, to pause, and to redirect. Those who pay attention don't just recover, they evolve. Some of the most powerful growth you will ever experience will come not from wins, but from wounds. Not from applause, but from silence. Not from being seen, but from being overlooked. Because it's in those moments when it feels like nothing is working that you discover what's really inside of you. And when you grow from that failure, grow loud. Don't shrink just because you're starting over. Don't play small because you stumbled once. Don't let people's memory of your lowest moment define your highest self. You don't owe anyone perfection. You owe yourself progress. Growth is messy, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, but it's honest and it's real, and it makes you unshakable. You want to know who's truly strong. It's not the one who has never failed. It's the one who has failed publicly, painfully, and kept going. Because that kind of courage, that kind of resilience, that isn't learned in a classroom or downloaded from a podcast. That is earned in the trenches of life. When you fail, it's okay to cry. It's okay to pause. It's okay to ask why. But don't you dare give up. Don't you dare bury your dream because you stumbled once. Don't you dare quiet your voice just because they didn't clap. This world needs real stories, stories with cracks and scars and restarts. Stories that say, I fell and I rose, I broke and I built, I lost and I lived. You are not your failure. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the meaning you choose to give them. You are the courage that stands up again. You are the light that refuses to dim. You are the growth that refuses to be silent. So yes, fail loud. Let them see you fall, and then let them watch you rise. Learn loud, ask the hard questions, do the inner work, and make the changes. And grow loud, not to impress, not to perform, but because your evolution is sacred. And the world is a better place when you become more of who you were always meant to be. Rule #5. Walk with purpose, not just a plan. There is a profound difference between moving and being moved, between having a plan and having a purpose. Plans can be logical, they can be tactical, written in neat little bullet points inside perfectly coded notebooks. But purpose burns, purpose breathes. Purpose is what keeps you standing when the entire plan falls apart. We've been taught to make 5-year plans, create vision boards, and fill our calendars to the edge with goals and deadlines. And while structure is good, while strategy matters, the truth is that plans change. Life interrupts. People shift, doors close, circumstances evolve. And if all you have is a plan without a purpose, you'll crumble the first time life doesn't go the way you hoped. But if you are walking with purpose, you can lose the job and not lose your identity. You can face the breakup and not forget your worth. You can watch the whole plan fall to pieces and still rise, because your direction was never built on your circumstances. It was built on your meaning. Purpose is the why that keeps you grounded when your how is uncertain. It's the deeper knowing that says, even if I'm delayed, I'm not denied. Even if I'm on a detour, I'm not destroyed. There is power in knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Not just chasing money, but seeking freedom. Not just building success, but creating impact. Not just getting attention, but spreading truth. When you have a plan without purpose, every obstacle feels like a dead end. But when you have purpose, even setbacks become part of the assignment. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Purpose is what gives your pain a voice. It's what turns your wounds into wisdom, your failures into fuel, and your losses into a legacy. Because you begin to understand that this is bigger than you. This isn't just about what you want, it's about who you're becoming in the process. Purpose will stretch you, it will test you, it will challenge you, because anything worth living for will ask you to grow. And growth is rarely comfortable, but it is always sacred. Sometimes we think we're lost when we're really just being led. We think we're behind when we're actually right on time, just on a different timeline than we expected. Purpose teaches you that detours are divine. It teaches you that you don't need to understand the whole journey. You just need to trust the call. You can have all the degrees, all the skills, and all the plans in the world, and still feel empty if you're not connected to something deeper. Because achievement without alignment is a prison. It may look good on paper, but it will drain your spirit. You'll have the title, but not the peace, the followers, but not the fulfillment. Purpose fills what success alone cannot. It wakes you up in the morning not out of pressure, but out of passion. It makes the work meaningful. It makes the pain worth it. It reminds you that what you do matters, not because of how many people see it, but because it is aligned with who you are. You don't find purpose by chasing it in the world. You uncover it by listening within. It's already in you. It's in what makes you come alive. It's in what breaks your heart. It's in the moment you looked at your life and said, there has to be more than this, and then decided to be the more. When you walk with purpose, you stop performing. You stop chasing perfection. You stop trying to prove something to people who were never meant to understand you anyway. Because purpose doesn't need applause. It just needs commitment. And a commitment fueled by purpose is unshakable. It's not loud or flashy, but it is steady, it is focused, it is real. So don't get discouraged when the plan shifts. Don't collapse when it feels like everything is changing. Let it change, let the plan evolve, let the old fall away. Because purpose isn't found in control, it's found in surrender. It's found in those quiet moments when you choose to keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's right. And the beautiful thing is, once you begin walking in purpose, the right people show up, the right opportunities align, the right doors open, not because you chase them, but because you finally became ready for them. Conclusion: you're not here to blend in. You're here to win. Purpose leads, it pulls you forward. It builds a life that is not only successful, but significant one that isn't just about what you achieved, but how you made people feel, what you stood for, what you healed, and what you gave back. A plan may give you structure, but purpose gives you strength. A plan may take you somewhere, but purpose tells you why you're going there. And once you know your why, you become unstoppable. So, when you look back at the journey you're on, the quiet sacrifices, the silent comebacks, the long nights, and the early mornings, let it all be a reminder that you are not just existing. You are building something real, something lasting. Because to win in life, it's not about being the loudest voice in the room or having the flashiest path. It's about being anchored in self awareness, in peace, in effort, in resilience, and in purpose. Know who you are so no one else gets to write your story. Protect your energy because it fuels every dream you've ever had. Be relentlessly consistent because small steps taken daily will walk you into your destiny. Fail loud, learn loud, and grow loud because falling isn't failure if it helps you grow. And walk with purpose because plans will come and go, but your purpose will carry you through any storm. You are not here to blend in, you are here to rise. You are not here to survive, you are here to win. And the win isn't just the success you reach. The real win is who you become along the way. Now, stand up, speak up, and start living like the winner you already are. If you liked this video, found it helpful, and feel motivated, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, leave a comment and share it with your friends and family.